Today we begin in the small village of Marignac, at the entrance to the Val de Burat. We are following a loop of just over 10 kilometers, climbing almost 500 meters through forests, beside mountain streams, and past one of the most remarkable trees in this part of the Pyrenees. I'm not walking alone today. A friend has joined me with his dog. And of course, Bella's here as well. Bella has apparently been storing up several weeks of energy for this exact moment. She's pulling ahead, running back, investigating everything, and making sure that nobody starts this walk at anything resembling a sensible pace. It does not take long before we arrive at the Chapelle Saint-Martin, standing above the Burat stream on the rocky promontory. The chapel dates from around the 11th century and is one of the oldest surviving buildings in the area. According to local historical accounts, it was constructed on the site of an earlier sanctuary associated with Jupiter. The chapel is also said to have served as a stopping place where travelers and pilgrims could find assistance before continuing across these difficult mountain paths. After leaving the chapel, we continue along a paved forest road. This is probably the easiest part of the walk to follow. There are no complicated turns and no difficult terrain, just a steady climb into the Val de Burat. At first, walking on tarmac might not seem especially adventurous, but the road allows us to settle into the rhythm of the hike. The houses disappear behind us, the forest slowly closes in, and the sound of the Burat stream becomes a constant companion. Eventually, we leave the paved road behind and join the proper forest trail. Almost immediately, the character of the walk changes. The path becomes narrower and softer underfoot. Moss covers the rocks, roots cross the trail, and the canopy filters the sunlight into the forest below. The Burat stream is rarely far away. Sometimes we walk directly beside it, and at other moments, we can only hear it below us through the trees. This is the kind of forest that encourages you to slow down. There is always another twisted trunk, another moss-covered stone, and another shaft of light appearing between the branches. Even Bella occasionally stops long enough to look around, although usually only because she has discovered a particularly interesting smell. The trees become increasingly impressive as we climb, but one of them is especially famous. The remarkable beech of Marignac is sometimes called the fruit of the rock. 5 large trunks rise from a single base that appears to be wrapped around and growing directly out of a massive rock. Further up the valley, we reach the Cabane de Contraire. This small mountain cabin sits near the halfway point of the loop and provides a natural place to stop. There is something satisfying about finding a cabin like this in the mountains. It is modest, practical, and completely in keeping with its surroundings. No luxury is needed here. For much of the hike, the Burat stream continues beside the trail. Along the way, the water tumbles over a series of small waterfalls. Some appear completely natural, while others have been created by low man-made barriers built across the stream. These structures are used in mountain valleys to slow the flow, reduce erosion, trap rocks and debris, and limit the destructive force of the water during heavy rain and sudden flooding. The falling water has gradually softened their practical appearance, covering the stonework with moss and turning them into part of the landscape. They may not be natural waterfalls, but they still create some of the most peaceful scenes of the walk. Near the end of the hike, I take some time to fly the drone. From the ground, the Val de Burat feels enclosed by forest. From above, its shape becomes much clearer. The stream cuts through the valley below. The forest road winds between the trees, and the surrounding mountains rise on every side. Places that seem large while walking, the cabin, the trail, and even the forest itself become tiny details in the wider Pyrenean landscape. This is one of the reasons I enjoy bringing the drone. It allows us to see not only where we have been, but how the small path fits into the mountain around us. Before finishing, there is one final reminder that these mountains have not always been crossed for pleasure. During the Second World War, men and women used paths through this area to escape occupied France and reach Spain. Some were refugees, some were members of the resistance, and many were guided by local pastors who risked their own lives to lead others across the mountains. The monument at the end of the walk asks us to remember them, not as distant figures from history, but as real people who faced these mountains in darkness, danger, and uncertainty, hoping to find freedom on the other side. Thank you for joining me and Bella on Cagire Calling. Until the next trail.